Hello folks, once again it's David from David Savery Electrical Services Limited, and today I'm asking the question of when is a protective device not a protective device? And the answer of course is when it's not suitable for the job. And we have here an old Contactum board. Goodness knows what age it is, but apart from this here there's no RCD present, and it's this that I'm going to be talking about shortly. Funny installation. It's one that we've just done an EICR on. Not the neatest of places. The homeowners have not long moved in, and it's been monkeyed with to the nth degree by a previous homeowner. So although, for example, we have a couple of socket circuits, one serving the garage and one serving the rest of the house, that's one socket circuit serving the whole house including the kitchen, which isn't ideal. And what we do have here are lots and lots of junction boxes spidering off to other sockets all over the place, and although they test out okay, the quality of workmanship isn't great. And someone has done an EICR here, I think about 10 years or so ago, according to the label, which I won't show you on the board, but it's interesting because if you notice, what we have sitting up here is a 32 amp MCB sitting doing nothing, and what we have here is this device providing additional protection for the socket circuit. So we can see there that we've got the line and neutral going in at the top, and at the bottom we have the buzz bar going into the live side. The buzz bar has been cut here to allow the neutral connection of this two-pole device to be made to the neutral bar, which is the only bit that's in newer colours by the looks of it. The device, obviously it provides our additional protection, and it's a B25. I think what's happened in the past is the previous guy's come in, he's recognised that we've got lots of sockets spidering off from the ring, spurs off spurs and that sort of thing, and he's figured, well, okay, 32 amps is probably a bit much for this sort of configuration where we've got 2.5mm cable spidering off to lots of different lots of other sockets. So we can't really drop it down to 20 amps because it's serving pretty much the whole house, and 20 amps is just kind of nuisance trip when they have the kettle and the toaster on. So we'll go for a compromise. We'll put in a B-curve 25 amp device with 30 milliamp protection for earth leakage, and that will give them their additional protection as well as their overcurrent protection. Except, and I must admit I didn't spot this until I looked a bit closer. Can you see the problem with this? What about if I get a bit closer there, if it'll focus? Notice our number here, 61008. This is not a B-curve 25 amp. This is an RCD or an RCBO, a residual current circuit breaker. It does not provide overcurrent protection. So this is a bit of a problem, obviously, because and it's a bit sneaky because Contactum, or it's a bit confusing rather, Contactum have used this model code for this device B2503/2. So on the face of it, you do think, okay, it's a double width RCBO rated at 25 amps, B curve, 30 milliamp, but it's not. It's not, because there's no overcurrent protection there at all. So this socket circuit, the only overcurrent protection it's got is the main fuse, which is somewhere between 60 and 100 amps. So yeah, that's not great, is it? So I'm going to have to replace that with an actual RCBO in order to give them the overcurrent and the earth leakage protection. I'm going to have to source one still at 25 amps because I think, you know, they're kind of right on that front. It's 32 is too high, 20 is too low, and until some rewiring can happen to tidy the place up a bit, that's where we are with it. But I thought that was quite interesting because on the face of it, doing the EICR, I was also fooled by that B25, and it's only when I looked at the BSEN number I thought, hang on a sec, that's not an RCBO, that's not going to do the job. But yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. So here I am back at mission control, and I've got this thing with me because I've taken it out of the board. I was there a couple of days ago and I did that bit of filming, and actually I had trouble sourcing a Contactum RCBO locally on the day, so I had to come back to base and do a bit of searching around online, and I came across this place who I haven't used before, this Electrical Direct. Order up to 8 PM for next day delivery, and sure enough, about 20 hours after placing an order for a proper B25 Contactum RCBO, it was duly delivered. So that was rather good, and they even sent me a Mars bar as well for opening an account with them. So that's nice. Looks like quite a good range in there, so I'll be having a closer look at them. Anyway, so the correct RCBO is now installed on site, at least until any further works can be done regarding the wiring at that place. But I've taken this thing out and brought it back here to have a closer look at it, just make sure I'm not speaking out of my bottom when I'm talking about what this thing actually is, because like I say, on the face of it, that pesky model number, that B25, it does make you think that it's perhaps providing that level of overcurrent protection when I don't think it is. So let's go and see what we can see with this, shall we? We can see that it's definitely a 61008 device, and if we look up BSEN 61008, we can see that that is the specification for residual current operated circuit breakers without integral overcurrent protection, unlike 61009, which is for residual current operated circuit breakers with integral overcurrent protection. So the fact that the socket circuit was spliced into this device means that it lacked suitable overcurrent protection and was only protected by the main fuse at the cutout. A situation fairly rapidly remedied thanks to the good folks at Electrical Direct and their ability to supply me with the correct Contactum device for that circuit in a short space of time. But I notice also that Contactum have perhaps got wise to this confusion, because an updated or the modern version of this device is no longer called a B2503-2, it's now a CPR25, which makes it look like what it is. It's an actual RCD rated at 25 amps and not an overcurrent device, although if you do a bit of Google searching on the part codes, you do come across listings such as this on eBay where someone has still listed it as being an RCBO. So I pity the poor fool who buys this thinking that they're going to be protecting their socket circuit or whatever with a 25 amp device. And I do wonder if there are other Contactum devices out there similarly model coded in a way that could be at face value taken rather ambiguously. But just a short video for today. I thought that was interesting. I don't suppose anybody else does, but there you go. Beware of appearances. You can't judge a book by its cover. You have to have a look at the small print sometimes, and in this case that small print was just a single digit on the BSEN number, which gave away the fact that this wasn't the thing for the job.